Okay, so we've all been there, right? You ask an AI to do something, you hit enter, you wait, and what you get back is, well, it's definitely not what you wanted. Today, we are going to fix that. We're going to dive into how to turn that jumble of ideas in your head into the exact, precise results you're actually looking for.
It's a universal feeling, isn't it? You ask for a quick summary and you get a novel. You ask for a simple recipe and it starts inventing ingredients that don't even exist. You know, that gap between what we ask for and what we get is exactly why mastering the art of the prompt isn't just for tech wizards anymore. It's a crucial skill for pretty much everyone.
And this right here, this is the key. You really don't need to learn to code. You just need to learn how to communicate better with these incredible tools. So think of yourself less like a programmer and more like a great film director. You're giving your actor, the AI, the perfect motivation and the right lines to deliver an absolutely stunning performance.
So let's actually put a name to this. Prompt engineering. I know it sounds a little fancy, but all it really means is getting good at giving instructions. It's the difference between asking, write about cars and asking, write a thrilling 100-word paragraph about a vintage sports car racing through a mountain pass at dawn. One gets you a vague list, the other gets you a story.
We're going to level up our skills in 3 stages. So first up, the foundations. These are the simple but super powerful techniques you can start using literally the moment this is over, and you'll see a huge improvement in your results right away.
The first and maybe the most powerful technique is called few-shot prompting. So instead of just telling the AI what to do, you show it. You just give it a couple of examples of the input and the exact output you want, and it figures out the pattern. It's kind of like teaching someone a new card game by just playing a few hands with them first.
And here is that exact technique in action. So we give the AI 2 really simple examples. We show it a pizza order and the clean, structured JSON output we want. That's it. That's our few-shot lesson. Then we give it a much trickier order, a half-and-half pizza. And because it already learned the pattern, boom, it nails the complex request perfectly. This is an absolute game changer for getting structured data.
Next up is one of my personal favorites, role prompting. This is where you tell the AI who it should be. By giving it a persona, you're not just getting back information, you're shaping its entire tone, its style, its expertise. You can ask it to be a skeptical scientist, an encouraging coach, or even a swashbuckling pirate.
This really shows the difference it can make. Instead of just asking for, a list of places, the prompt specifies a role, a humorous travel guide. That simple addition of context and character transforms what would be a boring list into an entertaining and genuinely useful response.
Okay, let's move on to level 2 and see how this all builds on itself. Now that we know how to give some basic instructions, it's time to guide the AI's reasoning process. We're going from just telling it what to do to actually teaching it how to think through a problem.
Look at this. It's a classic logic puzzle that AI models get wrong all the time. They just see the numbers 3, 3, and 20, and they just jump to a conclusion. 3 times 20 plus 3? Sure, 63. It's just an impulsive guess, and it's totally wrong. And this happens because the AI isn't really reasoning. It's just predicting what the next word should be.
But watch what happens when we add one simple phrase. Let's think step by step. All of a sudden, the AI stops, it breaks the problem down, it calculates the age difference, applies that to the current age, and it arrives at the correct answer, 26. This technique, it's called chain of thought prompting, and it's basically like telling a student, hey, show your work. It forces a logical process.
And this diagram shows us exactly why that little trick works so well. See, on the left, the chain of thought prompt creates a single logical path from the problem straight to the solution. It's clean, it's direct. But without that guidance, the AI's process can look a lot more like that tangled mess on the right, exploring all these dead ends and bad assumptions. Forcing it to think step by step just keeps it on the right path.
All right, level 3, the Pro Toolkit. Let's do a little rapid-fire round of some best practices that will put all these concepts together and help you get consistently great results every single time you write a prompt.
First, be incredibly clear. So instead of saying, don't use Markdown, say, write your response in flowing prose. Be specific. If you want a JSON output, you have to say so. If the steps need to be in a certain order, use a numbered list. And give it context. Seriously, telling the AI why you need something helps it understand your goal and give you a much better answer. Second, structure is your friend.
For more complex requests, use simple tags, like instructions or data, to separate the different parts of your prompt. It just helps the AI understand the role of each piece of information. And here's a pro tip. If you're feeding the AI a long document to analyze, put that document at the very top of your prompt before your question. It can make a huge difference in performance.
And finally, let's talk about temperature. This is a setting you can often control, and it's basically a creativity dial. It just adjusts how much of a risk the AI takes in choosing the next word. For factual stuff like summarizing a report, you want a low temperature. That keeps the AI focused and on point. But if you're brainstorming ideas for a fantasy novel, crank that temperature way up and it'll get a lot more random and adventurous.
And there you have it. In just a few minutes, we've gone from just asking questions and kind of hoping for the best to actively engineering prompts that guide the AI toward powerful, precise, and genuinely useful results. You now have the foundational toolkit. You know how to teach by example, how to give the AI a role to play, and most importantly, how to get it to think step by step to solve complex problems. This really is the core of communicating effectively with AI.
The AI, it's like a brilliant world-class actor just waiting in the wings. It has endless range, endless talent, but it can't perform without a script and a director. Well, you are now the director. You have the tools to guide its performance. So the only question left is, what masterpiece will you create?